Good morning, everyone.
Good morning!
Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek.
We've got on our red stuff. We got red stuff. We found all the red stuff we could, and
That's right.
yeah, we did what we could.
We are going to sing an opening song. It's maybe new one for you. It's called Spirit and Nature.
Spirit and nature dancing together. Let's do it.
That's how it goes.
Let's do it.
Sing with us. And if you'd
Yeah,
like to
that is it.
stand up, we invite you to stand
We got
up
the
and
whole clap thing.
move and groove.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. This is it. We're going, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing it. Eventually. It's going to happen. I just...
Yeah. That's good hand clapping. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Spirit and nature dancing together. 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 Spirit and nature dancing together.
Let's keep that slide. Do that one again. Let's do it again. Here we go.
Spirit and nature dancing together. 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 Spirit and nature dancing together.
Next verse. Woo! Shadows and moonlight.
Shadows and moonlight dancing together. 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 Shadows and nature dancing together.
Spirit and nature. One more time. 2,
together. Spirit and nature dancing 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 together. One more time. Spirit and nature dancing together. 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 Good job.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. My name is Carl, and I'm so glad to see all you people here, and some with your beautiful red coats on and red colors.
My name is Carolyn Jansen, and welcome to our service.
We want to greet and bless everyone who is watching online. Hi, everybody. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we're so glad to have you with us today. Please join me in welcoming our featured musicians back, as I say, by popular demand, and I literally
Yes,
mean that.
exactly.
Narayan and Janet, and we're just so happy to have them with their music today. They've got some really fun songs for you. Lisa, Tyler, and Diane will also provide some of the special music today.
Reverend Kristen will deliver today's message. It's titled, Peace Like Water. This is the third in a four-part Elemental Advent series.
Before we begin, I encourage you to turn your phones to silence as we share this sacred service time together.
Let's take a moment to be grateful for the land upon which our center rests. This is Bay Miwok and Ohlone land.
And we honor the Bay Miwok and Ohlone people of today, and certainly their ancestors who took care of this land for centuries. And now we dedicate ourselves to take care of these sacred grounds and all of Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision for the world is, let's say this together, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
And our mission is who we have come here to be. So again, let's say this together. We are a loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all. And here at Unity of Walnut Creek, we've identified 4 core values. They are love, connection, service, and wisdom.
Ushers, would you like to come forward with welcome packets? If you're with us for the very first time, welcome. And if you feel comfortable, please raise your hand so we can give you a welcome packet. Is there anyone here for the first time today?
All returning veterans.
All right, that's wonderful. Well, we're glad to have all of you here, and if you would like to invite anyone that is relatively new to visit our bookstore and to mingle with us on the patio after services and have a chance to get to know us better.
Connection cards are available in the newcomer welcome packets and in the seat pockets in front of you. These are for everyone. And with this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback or request information. Just place the card in the offering basket as it comes around. And for those of you that are viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page on our website.
We have several activities to highlight this week, but first I want to give you a sincere thank you. We were able this year, and I say able because last year I got in a little too late, and they were all taken, to participate in the Adopt a Family program here in East Contra Costa County. There's an organization that actually organizes the whole thing, and they do a great job, but we were able to adopt 2 families. We acquired at least 27 gifts, the entire list for both of the families, and one of the families you remember is a 21-year-old mom and dad and a baby that isn't even born yet. Little Matthew's still inside mom, so they got a beautiful car seat, and those things are expensive, but they're phenomenal. You have to have them, and they're phenomenal to have. And a boy got a bike, and another brother got, and another family, and got AirPods. And the mom, who has 3 almost teenage kids, I mean, one of them is 11, asked for a massage envy gift certificate, and she got that. And I went, she could probably just have about 5 of those and just forget all the other gifts. So it was sweet. I was able to bring the gifts out to their center this week, and it was just so fun to have everything there. And I just hope everybody, whether you purchased a gift or not, just know you're part of this community, and think on Christmas morning, they're going to come down to a tree with all those gifts that they asked for. We said in the abundance class, you got to ask, and they asked, and they got, and they're going to get it. And I think it's just phenomenal. And what's neat is they don't know who we are, and we really don't know exactly who they are. So it's really a God gave you these gifts kind of a feel. That's how it works.
But we also have opportunities. Many of you are holding the bears that are in your laps and on your chairs next to them. Give them lots of love. These are for our foster children. And if you haven't purchased a bear and would like to, there's still some available in the bookstore. And just bring them back in here and we'll love them up. And then they're going off to their new homes on December 22nd.
You can support local families by donating non-perishable food to help those experiencing food insecurity. There's a great big barrel in the foyer, and let's fill that thing up here over the next couple of weeks.
So would you like to spread love and holiday cheer through caroling this year? We've got an opportunity this Thursday, December 19th at 6 o'clock. And this will be at, we'll sing holiday carols to the residents of Kensington Retirement Center, which is just down the road here. And this is just a heartwarming event of song and joy for all of us.
I'm not sure who gets more out of it, the singers or the people listening to the music. It's probably 50-50. Speaking of heartwarming singing, be sure to come next Sunday because Unity's Joyful Hearts Choir will be back performing. And they have created a wonderful collection of holiday favorites to fill you all with joy.
And mark your calendar to join us for Unity's Christmas Eve candle lighting service. This is my favorite service of the year on Tuesday, December 24th at 8 p.m. This beloved service features Christmas carols and metaphysical interpretations of the Christmas story. We give our divine light to the world as we sing Silent Night together with the candles lit and peaceful closing. It will be a holy night. Please join us.
And then a week later, at the end of the year, our spiritual family will have a transformative burning bowl ceremony. This is an ongoing Unity thing throughout the Unity movement. So come in at New Year's Eve at 8 o'clock to let go of concerns and habits that no longer serve you and ignite your heart with passion and the promise of a bright, joyful year ahead. Together we will create a space for renewal and abundant possibilities.
For more information and registration for all of our events, please see our website, and you may visit our welcome table. They have flyers there for more information. And now Reverend Kristen has a special ceremony to share with us.
Well, good morning. How is everybody today? You should have seen how many people were at the 9:30 service. I looked up and went, wait, is it 11:30? What are y'all doing here already? But I'm glad you all showed up again. Right. So today we are welcoming into our membership 7 lovely new members, and exciting. So I want to invite them up by name, and they'll just keep flowing. Delia Flores Rivera, Heather Hollis, Holly Reese, Jennifer Lundberg, who I think prefers Jen, Jody Duvall, Julie Hollinger, and Olivia Roby. Seven is a significant number, too. Yeah. So membership at Unity of Walnut Creek is a commitment to our community, and it's a commitment to your own spiritual path, to your ongoing spiritual growth and expansion and expression of the divine. And so by welcoming all 7 of you into membership today, we recognize your desire to know the divine, to understand and love and live by these spiritual principles, your desire to take responsibility for your own awakening and consciously commune with Spirit in prayer. And finally, your desire to support Unity of Walnut Creek with your presence, your participation, your service, your tithes, your talents, your prayer. Bring it on, whatever you want to give, whatever you want to contribute. We are so glad to have you engaged in our community. So to all of you, if you agree and are ready and willing to accept the things I named before, maybe not bring it on, all the things, that the things I named, if you would like to accept this, please say, I am together. I am. All right. We're already in unison. This is good news. So our spiritual baptism begins actually with a water baptism. We're not going to do full dunking, but it is yeah, disappointing, right? The water comes from a sacred place, and the water we're using today by request comes from Egypt. This is water I brought back from my sabbatical at St. Anthony's. I'm going to talk a little bit more about St. Anthony later, but one of the ascetic early hermits that lived way out in the desert. And the water sprung forth miraculously and still flows today. And so it is that water that we're using. And the water aspect, this is like our two aspects of affirmative prayer. There's a release, a letting go of whatever stands in the way of our good. And then there's an affirmation of what we're saying yes to, what we are stepping into, what we are affirming. So for those of you who are already members, let this membership ceremony be a reaffirmation of your own membership as well. And so now together, I invite us to affirm our commitment. Together, I affirm my dedication to Unity's spiritual principles as I understand them, and my willingness to seek, learn, and express them. I affirm my intent to behold and honor the divine spirit in others and myself, and to love, welcome, and include to the best of my ability. I affirm my commitment to honor my body, soul, and our earth home by living in wholeness and unity with all life. I affirm my practice of prayer and meditation by maintaining a regular silent time and blessing and affirming others. I affirm my commitment to be a supportive and engaged member of this spiritual community by sharing my gifts of sacred service and financially contributing on a regular basis to support our spiritual home. So you've heard the commitment made by our new members, and so I ask you now as a congregation to make a commitment as well. Are you now affirming your dedication to support these new members in their spiritual growth and to welcome them into this spiritual family? And if so, and to behold the divine in them. If so, let's say, I am together. I am. Indeed. I want to also point out that we have more than the members that are standing here because Heather has 2 children, Henry and Elliot, is that right? And Jen has 2 children, Sophie and Ivy, that are a part of our children's ministry as well. So they're over having fun right now in the children's area, perhaps. So we are also gifting our new members with a spiritual book, a certificate, and then on order but not yet here are new name tags, so you can get to know them a little bit more easily. And we also have a beautiful song that Lisa Snortum-Phelps wrote, and she and Diane are going to lead us in. This is a song for all of us to serenade our new members and welcome them.
We have the words for this.
Welcome.
There we go. Beautiful. Please sing along as you wish. I behold divine in you, and I'm warmed by the flame in your heart. Oh, today you join our family, and we thank you for all that you are. I'm going to do that again. I behold divine in you, and I'm warmed by the flame in your heart. Oh, today you join our family, and we thank you for all that you are. Love binds us all. Love binds us all. Love binds us all. Love binds us all. I behold divine in you, and I'm warmed by the flame in your heart. Oh, today you join our family, and we thank you for all that you are. Keep shining your light. Keep shining your light. Ooh. Keep shining your light. One more time. Keep shining your light.
Welcome home. Thank you for joining us.
You guys got a standing O.
That's a way to start out in membership. So some of you have been following along with our candle lighting, and each week in Advent is another spiritual quality that we pick up along the way. Faith was our first week, and love our second. And now to usher us into the third week are 2 bros from our men's group and friends, Paul Cursis and Scott Babcock. And bros, I understand, stands for Brothers Recognizing Oneness. Our spirituality. Oh, oneness would be cool too. Brothers Recognizing Our Spirituality. That's what our men's group is all about. Isn't that cool? So Scott and Paul are going to share an Advent reading that's from our Advent booklet. I think we have those as gifts. If you didn't get one yet, there are still a few left. Mike has them over there on the table in a basket. So please feel free to pick one up on your way out. And they're going to share a reading with us and then light our Advent candle of peace. Thank you.
Peace is always possible, even in the midst of seeming chaos. We are never far away from what the Apostle Paul called the peace that passes through all understanding.
I am the living expression of the divine, just as every person is. I know that peace, like all spiritual qualities, seeks expression in my life and in our world.
In the stillness of prayer, I embrace divine peace, allowing it to fill my body, mind, and spirit. Centered in the stillness, I send out a blessing to all upon this planet. Divine peace is ours. We can each contribute to the calm peace of the collective spirit.
The irony here. My peaceful presence blesses me and everyone I meet. When I look through my heart, I see a world with no more war. I see a world of peace. Now we light the Advent candle of peace.
And whatever you were experiencing there, Scott, we call that divine order. So we're entering into now our time of meditation, and we begin with music, followed by guidance, and then some silence.
Sweet, sweet raindrops running down my window pane. I am a bubble, make me the sea. I am a bubble, make me the sea. Make me the sea, oh, make me the sea. Make me the sea, oh, make me the sea. Wave of the sea, dissolve in the sea. Wave of the sea, dissolve in the sea. I am a bubble, make me the sea. I am a bubble, make me the sea. So do thou, my Lord. So do thou, my Lord. Thou and I never apart. Thou and I never apart. Wave of the sea, dissolve in the sea. Wave of the sea, dissolve in the sea. I am the bubble, make me the sea. I am a bubble, make me the sea. I am the bubble, make me the sea.
Let's just allow ourselves to float along with that song. Landing within and allowing ourselves to become one once again with that ocean of love and presence, of peace. And every breath in, like the wave of the ocean, drawing in spilling forth onto the shore with our exhalation. Every breath, moving out, coming back, allowing the divine flow to move through us, and resting in peace in the silence. Allowing that peace to flow through our beings. Move through your neck and shoulders and chest and heart and back. The peace flow through you. Moving down through your entire body and out the soles of your feet, through the palms of your hands. Letting everything calm. Giving ourselves over to the presence of peace. Right here, right now. And so it is.
dissolve in the sea. I am a bubble, make me the sea.
We'd like to share a brand new song with you today about water. This is in honor of water, the element of water, the water in us, the water we share, the ocean.
Sweet, sweet raindrops running down my window pane.
That was subtle.
Sweet raindrops running down my window pane. I'd go out, but it's too wet. The gray skies are all in a sweat.
I think this will end the drought, I bet.
Watching rain is time well spent. I'll just float and dream, float and dream, float and dream in this watery world. Cats took off, the backyard's a lake. Thunder outside makes the windows shake. Days like this make my brain awake. Listen to the dreams I make. I just float and dream, float and dream, float and dream in this watery world. This watery world. Water, 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 water. It's a spiritual thing in this watery world. Yeah. In this watery world. Yeah. Float and dream.
That was for you, Chris.
Two really dreamy, floaty songs. And your snaps are like an instrument. Wasn't that amazing snapping? It's always good to be together, and what a special time of year to be gathered, and such like the season of light, right? It's that kind of warm, fuzzy time. Even when we're not feeling necessarily that way, there is something to warm us or to shift us or to open our hearts. So I hope you're finding those things in your daily experience, and maybe right here, right now. Nothing like the present moment, right? So wadi, have you heard that word before, wadi? Yeah, just at 9:30? Oh, okay. So wadis everywhere in Egypt. It's true. And, lately that I wasn't connecting all that. And lately that word has just been like on my heart and mind and speaking through me. And I'm like, Spirit's telling me something about wadis. And so it wasn't until I was preparing the talk that I was re-educated about what this actually is and that it is a thing. It is a thing on our earth, the wadi. And so in this Advent season of peace and throughout the Advent season of faith and love and peace and all the stops along the way to Christmas, we this year are pairing those spiritual qualities with the element that corresponds to it. So peace and water seem to naturally go together, don't they? So this is what I learned about a wadi. A wadi is often a dry riverbed, a place that is seasonally becomes full of water. And it, especially in the Middle East, carries a lot of spiritual significance. When you think about the desert areas, right? It's revered as a place of oasis, and spiritually further expressed as something that symbolizes renewal, hope, and divine providence. The Bible mentions wadis as places of significant passage and reflection. And the winding nature of a wadi can be like the spiritual journey or the journey of life, that along the way we come across water that may be renewing and cleansing for our souls. So lots of goodness in this one word that represents all of this. And these descriptions of peace and this idea of being out in the desert brings us back to the water that we used in our ceremony today. It was St. Paul and St. Anthony were each, and about the year 250 for St. Paul and 270 for St. Anthony, they were guided to go out into the desert and live as hermits. And in both cases, about 35 miles apart from one another, not even knowing one another, they each found a place where they struck a rock and water miraculously sprung forth, and that became their place to be in meditative and prayerful silence. And the idea was to be solo in this, but St. Anthony's something, maybe magnetic energy, I don't know what, drew other people who wanted to live this kind of lifestyle. And so they became known then as the desert mothers and fathers you might have heard of before, or read some of their sayings, these early Christian heretics or ascetics that lived in this hermetic way. Not heretics. Scratch that. Cancel. I know, I got your attention there, right? You're like, wait, what? Well, I don't know. They might have been in their own way. Who knows? Anyway, so that's where the place from which the water that still flows today, where there's still operating monasteries, where they're still talking about the miraculous water that they're using every day to wash with, to drink, and so on. I just love that. This continuation now, here it is, and blessing our members today. So it's that beautiful way in which we are connected throughout the planet, isn't it? And water is one of those ways that does connect us. And hopefully, peace is one of those ways as well. It's certainly our affirmation, our desire, our prayer, the thing that we hold for ourselves and for each other, that we may be at peace with one another and within ourselves, within our own minds and hearts. So water then is one of those things that kind of conjures up that sense of peace, doesn't it? For many of us, and maybe not for everyone, but how many of you find peace when you are at the water's edge or submerged in water or even washing with water? So many of you are nodding your heads. So yes, right? And did you know that blue is the favorite color worldwide of human beings by far? Even in countries where, like red, like China, where red is very spiritual and significant color, blue is still the favorite. And so why is that? What is it about blue? What does it evoke for us? For a lot of us, it evokes feelings of peace, feelings of calm, of serenity, and associations with water and blue sky and so on. So all of that comes in this process, in this package of watery peace, of flowy peace. So in the Christmas story, the shepherds were out watching their flock by night, we're told. And so they were under this beautiful starry sky. And if they were caring for their flock, they may well have been watering their flock. And, if you imagine that the desert surrounding that area of Bethlehem was truly desert, and in this area there happened to be some nice fields, I imagine verdant green fields where where the sheep were being cared for and watered. And so this must have felt even more so. You know, it's like when the rains come here and things have been so dry and suddenly the hills begin to green. You know how psychologically that feels, right? How good that feels. It's like life, yes, aliveness, nourishment for the earth, for me, for the animals, for the plants, because we really feel that sense of oneness with nature when we are nourished by the rains in such a way. And so the shepherds wasn't necessarily reigning, but they were in this kind of reverie, I imagine. Maybe their routine where, you know, every evening they were, you know, kind of with each other, but also caring for their own flocks and moving through the fields and maybe occasionally looking up at the beautiful starry sky and marveling at it and just kind of in that really beautiful, peaceful rhythm. You ever been in one of those places where you're just kind of, you know, moving out at night or you're sitting under the starry sky and you just feel so much peace? So you imagine they're in that kind of setting and in that kind of inner state of peace. And suddenly an angel appears. And the scripture says they were terrified. So they went from complete peace and just in their groove and in their flow to, you know, that kind of state that suddenly something very surprising just rattles us out of our state of peace. And so Reverend Dr. Norman Iris Rosado is one of the writers in the Advent booklet that we have this year. And she writes about this experience. She says, all of a sudden their peace are disturbed and the angel stands before them and they're terrified. And she says, how many times have we been in a place of peace and it got disturbed? Right? How many times how many times in a day, right? What might we be in that kind of place, right? And then the leaf blower starts, or the dog starts barking, or whatever it is. It can be from simple things like that to something very shocking that happens, or something very big that happens, an earthquake, just something that suddenly brings us into a completely different state. The shepherds were quaking, they say. They were so scared at that moment. So maybe you could even recall for a moment, come into a memory, if you want to close your eyes for a moment, drop in and recall a time you might have been in a state of peace, and then suddenly you moved into a state of perhaps fear or anxiety. And what did you do? Did you panic? Did you go deeper into the anxiety? Or did you somehow help yourself shift back into a more peaceful state? Maybe all of the above. What the shepherds did was they listened to their inner voice of calm. Maybe they calmed each other too, we don't know. But somehow they seem to have shifted into a place of receptivity, into an acceptance of the situation, and back into probably a little heightened sense of curiosity and openness, and a maybe not completely chilled out, peaceful place that they were in previously, but not necessarily a panic-stricken place. And part of it were the words that they heard from the angel, which metaphysically we know angels are thoughts. Angels are those thoughts that we allow, divine thoughts, divine ideas to come to us when we open to those and we receive the message that is in them. And the angel says what the angel always says when they show up in the Christmas story: do not be afraid. It's a refrain of the angels. Do not be afraid. Here comes this blinding divine light. Do not be afraid. And out of that space, then she, he, the angel, they say a little bit more about why not to be afraid. I'm bringing you good news of great joy for all people. And we can know this for ourselves, whatever is going on in our lives, whatever is happening in your life, that you can overcome your fear and return to peace. Let's say that together. I can overcome my fear and return to peace. And this idea to not be afraid, this idea that whatever is happening, whether it's conflict or chaos or anxiety or fear or not knowing, uncertainty, whatever that state of being that we might be in, to know, to remember, be not afraid, because there's a reason why this is happening. There's something coming. There's a message here for me. There's a blessing in this for me. And to open to that is to receive that angelic divine idea, that truer thought, that higher thought that resonates with the essence of who you are. And so it may be those very words from Luke. Do not be afraid. And then even good news that comes. I think there's a slide for this, Narayan. Sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. I'm bringing you good news of great joy for all people. Now, you might be saying, well, what would that be in my case? You know, here I am just moving. I'm in a state of anxiety, or I'm in a state of fear, or maybe I'm in a state of lack. And then all of a sudden there's some kind of thing that happens and I shift. But what's the good news for all people? Well, if you get into a more peaceful state, then I get into a more peaceful state. And if I get into a more peaceful state, then you get into a more peaceful state. And so it goes, right? This is how we spread peace. We've affirmed this for a very long time in Unity. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And so it does begin with us. That is a true statement, that when I am at peace, the people around me are at peace. It's like the story about that Thich Nhat Hanh tells about the boat people coming across. And, you know, there's lots of reasons to be anxious and fearful in those boats in the night, the refugees coming across the ocean. But as long as one person can keep their cool, as long as one person can get inside that center of divinity, or that at least that calm, cool space that says it's going to be okay, that reassuring presence, whether it's spoken or it's energetic, it calms the whole boat. And so it is for us in our lives, right? We can be that. So that's the good news for all people. But there's even more good news for all people, because like in the Christmas story, what is coming is this rebirth, this recognition, this revelation of the Christ Spirit within. The consciousness once again revealed to us. And each time we come around to this experience, we get to reveal more. We get to let go of more. We get to see more and experience more and feel more of the truth of who we are. And that is a peace of mind that comes with that. That is a deep, residing, abiding peace that then we carry with us when we touch that quality in the Christ consciousness that is a part of who we are. And that is something that we all share. While we each are unique in our soulful expressions, we all share this Spirit. We all have access to the Spirit. It's an equal opportunity for all, right? It's an equal opportunity for all to choose to move into that, to drop into that, to experience that peace, to flow with it. Peace is with us all. Peace is in us all. Peace is us all. You know, there's a traditional sign of the peace that they do in Catholic, and I think some Protestant churches do it too. But it's really a beautiful greeting. And so slightly unitized, it's peace is with you. Peace is with you. You want to say that to a neighbor? Peace is with you. What a beautiful thing to just affirm to each other the truth on occasion, right? to share a blessing of peace or love or joy or whatever it may be, to know that truth, to see it in one another. It's what we mean when, what we've gotten out of Hinduism, and Indian culture, the namaste. In one word, it means I see the divinity in you. I see the truth in you, and I in you. It's beautiful, beautiful way to greet each other. So what causes us to lose our sense of peace are basically, it boils down to two things. One is fear, which we've talked a bit about with the shepherds and the Christmas story, and the other is lack. In some way believing something's missing, something's lacking, something's not here, something's somehow not enough, right? And out of that is a lot of disruption of peace. You can think about it collectively, how much we have, as human beings, fought over perceived, skimpiness of resources. And so then we've, argued with each other, and it turns into sometimes war even. And talk about water. How about water rights? How about this thing? And, right here in California, we have these issues, right? Large corporations buying up water rights, hoarding water, sending it to their city away from the, farmers, and so on it goes. And so it's this idea that there is not enough, and I got to get mine. And that is not a peaceful state of consciousness. That is what we call separation consciousness. It's a consciousness that says we are not together, we are not one. In fact, we are separate, and I have to take care of me and mine. And it's that consciousness that when the Christ consciousness comes, has no room anymore to be. It falls away like the water blessing. It falls away, and we open ourselves to the light and the love and the truth that we are. So in Jesus, there's always some group, right, that we decide is the other, so that, we can make sure that we get the goodies, whatever they may be. And so throughout human history, there's always others. There's always the other group, and then they become sort of otherized, and then even demonized, and then the enemy, and then we don't think of them as people anymore. We think of them as objects, and that's how we can go to war with each other, because they're just the object, they're just the enemy. And when we say war, and we all think, well, I'm not a part of that. Well, just think of it more deeply. War is any time you have ill feelings against someone. It's any kind of conflict. It's any kind of judgment we hold. There's always that kind of thing happening in our world up until now, has been up until now, but there's always the opportunity for us to shift out of it completely and fully even. It is possible. We have to hold those possibilities in order for those shifts to really happen. So in Jesus' time, the lesser than people, the others for the Jews, were the Samaritans. And it's interesting that there's two different stories about the Samaritans, that the best known ones anyway of this in the New Testament, that are connected to water. The first one is takes place at a place called Wadi Kelt. And at Wadi Kelt is the story of the Good Samaritan. You probably have heard the term Good Samaritan, maybe use the term Good Samaritan. Maybe you've walked into a hospital called Good Samaritan, because it's everywhere present in our world, because we love the story so. And so what happened at this Wadi Kelt is that there was a man who had been beaten and robbed and left for dead on the side of the road. And along came a priest, and he crossed the road and didn't help. And along came another priest, and he crossed the road and he didn't help. But the third person who came along went right to the person who was in need and helped. And he was a Samaritan, now dubbed the Good Samaritan, right? And so what did he do? He cared for the man. What did he do? He poured his love out. He did what he could do to help the man be restored to wholeness and life, and to flow again with goodness, and to have peace. Another watery place where one of these encounters takes place is where Jesus and the woman at the Samaritan woman at the well meet, and they have this very meaningful conversation at the well together. Now, this is really out of the box, because men and women talking midday alone like that, unless they're married, would be very strange. And a Jew and a Samaritan, even more so. But Jesus doesn't care about that stuff. and we shouldn't either. Because it's about bridging, it's about oneness, it's about recognition that you have as much of a right to peace as I do. You have as much a right to love as I do. And we want the peace and love to flow between us and amongst us because that's how we create the kind of world we all want to live in. We can't siphon it off and say, I want love and peace and joy for all of these, but not them. And it changes, doesn't it? Oh, no, now they're welcome and they're not. It's like, what is these? These antics just keep us spinning in the kind of stuff we don't want to experience. Conflict and war and chaos and just ill feelings and lack of peace. And it's an easy shift back in for all of us personally and collectively. It may not seem easy, but once we get that groove going, once we get that habitual understanding going that this is my way back, this is the path, it's like we cut a wadi, right? It's like we've created a wadi and it's always there. And sometimes it's a little dry, but we just keep walking in the wadi or swimming in the wadi and lo and behold, the water springs forth. It reminds me of Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, when he first, got involved in these teachings, and he would say, he was hearing all these different things. And he said, in this babble, I'm going to headquarters. But he didn't just sit in the silence and go, oh, that's really yummy. I really like being in the silence. I feel so peaceful and blissful. No, that's not the experience he had. It was dry as a bone. And it was like a dry, scientific, business-like experience that he committed himself to over and over, night after night. And he said, he just, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel it, but I kept doing it. I didn't feel anything. I kept doing it. I kept returning. I kept just, at the appointed hour, I just kept my commitment. And then one day, I rather liked it. And then everything changed. They used to say, Papa Charlie has dropped into the silence again. Everybody would be gathered for a dinner party or something, and then Charles would just be like gone for a minute with his eyes closed, and they're like, oh yeah, he's just in the silence again. He loves the silence. But this is what it takes for us sometimes, is just, recognizing that sometimes the river of spirit is going to feel dry. And it's okay if we keep up our practice. It's there. The water is beneath. The spring is ready to spring forth. It's just keep coming. Keep coming to the well. At that well with a Samaritan woman, Jesus revealed to her what he knew about her life. And what he knew about her life is she kept going outside for the good. She kept looking to other people to fill her cup of love. He said, I know you've had a bunch of boyfriends and a couple of husbands, and the guy you're with now isn't your husband, and she's just eyes saucers, like, how does he know all this stuff about me? Well, he got her attention, didn't he? And really his point was, he doesn't spell all this out, but it's like, you keep looking outside. You keep coming from a place of, I lack, I'm missing, I don't have. And then it doesn't bring you a sense of peace because it's just temporarily fulfilling. It's like you slog up here through the heat and the midday sun and you get one lousy bucket of water and you got to walk all the way back to the village and probably half of it spills and then you've got a little water and then you got to come all the way back to the well, right? And he's saying, if you had asked me, I would have given you living water and you would never thirst again. If we would ask, if we would return, if we would go within, we would get the living water. And then we wouldn't be hurting so much. We wouldn't be causing so much conflict or experiencing so much conflict and chaos and lack of peace. If only we just went to the well. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy that we cannot believe it's that easy. And so we keep walking around the well. Isn't it true? I mean, are you like me? I do this too. And then I get into it and I get back into my rhythm and I go, oh, this is so yummy. Why did I ever walk away from this? It's just like, now you can't get me out. I don't want to stop. It's like when we do new meditation, sometimes I'm like, oh, I got to bring everybody out. Darn. I'd like another 30 minutes, please. But it's that practice. And that's what all that Jesus is really talking about. if you had asked me, and he's not again saying Jesus, me, the special man, although Jesus was a special man. He's saying the Christ, the consciousness, the truth inside me and inside you. If you would ask there, if you would go there, if you would visit that well, you would get everything you need. You would be quenched forever. Forever. Now, of course, us human beings, we often forget, right? But the more we come back to the well, the less space and time between times. And the more we are grounded and centered in this place of overflowing peace. And then we become that kind of peaceful, calm, confident presence that moves through the world. Then when everybody else is having a huge upset about something, that person, even though they may have human feelings, can shift very quickly and be the one in the boat that helps everybody else come to peace. We do help each other by where we are, and who we can be in different moments. And if you notice other people are panicking, you need to be the one who steps in, right? And is the presence of peace. I remember, Brenly and I come from the Midwest, so earthquakes and wildfires were not like our thing, tornadoes maybe, but we never really experienced any of these directly. And so when we came, like the first couple weeks we were in California, we first moved to Santa Barbara, there was white ash all over our backyard from a wildfire. And then a few days later, I remember she was outside the kitchen and I was inside the kitchen, and all of a sudden we were looking at each other, but she was standing outside, and the whole thing shook. And it was just like, was this a good idea? But somebody's got to be that presence. On another occasion here, our whole bedroom shook us awake, and she started getting a little panicky for a minute, and I was like, it's okay. It's over. We're fine. Everything's fine. Dogs are fine. All is well. So it's like, whoever can reach for the peace, and be it. And allow ourselves to help each other recognize that whatever is happening, all is truly well. It's hard to know that sometimes, when you get terrible news or your heart is broken or, whatever it is that's going on in life, because there's a lot, right? There's always a lot as these embodied spirits that we go through as human beings. But there is a knowing that we can move into when we really walk the walk of peace, when we flow with the living water of peace, that we can get to that place that knows at the same time, yes, this is going on outside and it's not good, or it doesn't feel good in this moment and there's lots of chaos. But at the same time that I know this, that all is well. I know the truth that all is well, that ultimately all is well. Doesn't mean we don't take action. It doesn't mean we don't care. Even more so we do, because we know what to do. We know we can tap the depth of that spiritual availability to us, that divine essence that we have with us always in the midst of us, and that we can bring it forth through our words, through our actions, through our energy, through our knowing, in the moments of just pause. And be still and know that I am. That's the way to peace. So there's this inner wadi, right, that is always available to us, and we can go back to it again and again and again. And even in the collective, it might seem sometimes like the collective things, the places where there is war and so on, it just seems like, wow, back to the Middle East, right? The ongoing war there that breaks our heart, that has been with us since all of our lifetimes and before, and still seems to keep coming in different ways, and worries and concerns that we all have about peace. But if we just go back to the basics, to the unity teachings, to our innate spiritual qualities, the answers, the resolution is there, even for that kind of conflict. Prosperity tells us there's enough for all. That's our prosperity teaching. There's enough for all. Peace calms us down. And wisdom guides us in how to share. It's really the answer to everything. And so if we just return again and again to the well, to the wadi, we will find our way to peace in our individual lives, in our individual relationships, in our homes, in our workplaces, in our neighborhoods, between nations, and everywhere. So we just return to the land of our soul over and over again, as the song goes. In meditation, we drink in that living water. And so that's a key way for us, in your own forms of meditation perhaps, to reset in the presence of peace. That's the key. And once we do, we have so much to share that there is a sharing of it automatically. So let's affirm this together. Let's really feel into our peaceful state of beings and be it, become it, embody it. So I invite you to affirm this with me. Through meditation, I drink living waters of peace. Out of my heart flows rivers of peace. I am peace, I share peace, and so it is.
That takes you right there. Thank you, Reverend Kristen. Thank you. We are the peace.
Our prayer chaplains are available after the service to provide personal prayer support. If you're a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Right over here tomorrow, all over the place. Thank you. As you see, our prayer chaplains are mostly wearing their lavender stoles.
Whether you have a joy or concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful way, powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
Now let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive, because in truth there is no lack or limitation, and abundance is our true nature.
For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to financially give to our community, shown on the screen in front of you. For those of you watching online, there is a donate button on the Watch Live page, and we encourage everyone to set up regular and automatic giving to Unity through your bank's free bill pay service.
And now I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat our affirmation together. Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. Thank you.
Peace and joy to you. Joy to you. Peace
peace and joy. Sometimes we get a little rain. Sometimes we feel a little pain. No one that we need to blame. Deep inside, we're all the same. One heart, one mind. Don't get left behind. Joy to you. Love and 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 joy. Love and joy. The sun feels good upon our face. It's good to be the human race. Let's not let it go to waste. Thoughts of separateness erased. One heart, one mind. Don't get left behind. Peace and joy to you. 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 Peace and joy. Peace and joy. Love and joy to you.
Go, Don, go.
Love and joy to you. Love and joy to you. Love and joy to you. Love and joy. Love and joy. Peace and joy. Peace and joy. Sometimes I get a little rain. Sometimes I feel a little pain. The sun feels good upon our face, on our face. It's good to be the human race. Peace and joy. Peace and joy to you. Love and joy to you.
Love and joy.
You rock.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I was loving the sign language for that. Peace and love. Oh, no. Love or love. Oh, I love you, she's doing. Okay. Okay. So peace and love and joy. Let's get that down. Let's do it together a few times. Peace and love and joy. So you can speak that to Terry in her language.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, blessings, blessings to all of us, right? Full of peace and love and joy. Let's bless this good together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is. And let's welcome the children in song. Come on.
Oh yeah! Hey, we are a circle of love. We are a circle of light. Come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of light. 'Cause the light in you and the light in me are one.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you for singing our song for us. Anyone want to share what we did today? We had two groups, two smaller groups today. Anyone? Maybe not. Everyone was, when I asked coming in, everyone was like, nope. No. But we were talking about love and the spiritual principle of love. We talked about one of my favorite stories, the gingerbread baby. Remember the gingerbread baby? Oh, he's made with love. And the little kid makes him, and he's supposed to wait 8 minutes for him to bake. And he waits 7, and that's not quite close enough, and he peeks, and the gingerbread baby jumps out of the oven and runs amok all over town. I mean, spreads love all over town. It's a cute story, and we made our gingerbread ornaments. And then Genevieve was with our Uniteens. Do you want to share, Genevieve? Sure. Okay.
The Uniteens also said they don't want to share. But today we read a story about a 7-year-old who started a company to help foster children. And he gathered duffel bags and put teddy bears in there and notes of love inside and helped like 5,000 kids a year. So, yeah. And then we talked about what would we do if we could start our own company to help others. And so ideas were things like food drives. Another idea was a creative art studio for kids who wanted an outlet for creativity. So, thanks.
We see it happening. Well, let's bless our children, our youth, and our teachers together. Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. I think we're going to close out with holy, all good, holy, holy, yes. So if you would like to stand, you're welcome to sit or stand, to hold hands or to place your hands on your heart, whatever is comfortable for you.
Here we go.
All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Now I know all is good, holy, holy. Love, all love, holy, holy. All love, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Now I know all is love, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All one, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Now I I know all is one. Holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart and my soul. Now I know all is one. Holy, 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 holy.
You are the peace and the love and the faith on earth right now. So let your light shine. Have fun and spread joy.